No, it's just the main tab. As soon as you open it, just scroll down. Your
Oh,
info.
yeah,
name,
sure enough.
Right
Nice.
there.
Do I hear a printer?
Yes.
Eric flying by the seat of his pants like, monkey
Hey.
man.
I am. I'm making this shit up on the go.
Just going to print and read the rules right now, live in session.
How else is he going to say fuck you, Justin, if he doesn't read the rule book?
I don't think he's going to say fuck you, Justin.
I don't.
Oh, I will. I'm going to say it for whatever reason.
I have to find a reason for him to say it. All right, here we go, folks. Erised, a land of vast meadows, deep woodlands, and mystical secrets. Ancient hollows whisper in the forgotten tongues of long-dead civilizations. Gargantuan stone monoliths tower above verdant valleys that scar swathes of rippling grass. The very air is thick with magic as it blusters and ripples across the horizon. The rocky spires and rolling hills pulse with the wild heartbeat of nature. Welcome to our as-yet untitled venture into Daggerheart, Darrington Press's upcoming heroic fantasy tabletop role-playing game. This is still in open beta. Currently, I think we're running 1.4.1 for those tracking. We are Dead Sons Company. Head over to deadsonsco.com to follow this and our other projects and learn a little bit more about us. I'm Justin. I'll be our game master for this short campaign. But more importantly, our intrepid adventurers. I have Alex, Brad, Carl, Eric, and Mike. And we're about to dive into session 0 for character creation and world building. You certainly don't need to tune into this one to follow along at home, but you are welcome around our fire. What do we think, guys?
Way to do that alphabetically to not make anybody feel any kind of way.
Did you notice?
I did notice, and just happened to be number 1 alphabetically. Nothing to see, guys.
Not to make anyone feel any type of way, as he feels very empowered at number 1.
I feel pretty good. Considering I was last for Brad always until mentioned.
I mean,
Even after mentioned, honestly.
that's including the episodes where you just barely got mentioned because you're almost dead.
Almost.
But on that note, I'm excited. I get to be a player.
Hell yeah. For those of you who haven't been watching Tainted Hive, Brad has been our GM for Imperium Maledictum, a Warhammer 40k tabletop RPG. But that's for another time. All right, dudes. So we've got a Foundry pulled up here. I'm going to share that, I think, on screen here, if I can figure out how to. Which doesn't seem that I'm going to know how. There it is.
Oh, beauty.
That'll work. All right. So, character creation. You are all low-ranking members of an order of knights. You can choose the name of the order, or I can. That's up to you guys. We can kind of decide that at the end here. Your order's kind of primary modus operandi, as most knight orders are in Erised, is to protect their specific country from weird threats that seem to be popping up more and more frequently over the last few centuries. So I guess let's start with class. Like, what class you guys want to be? Who's going? Alex, we're going in alphabetical?
Yeah, that works.
So much for being the top.
Yeah. Well, no, I was pretty dead set on going random, but then I started kind of looking at these, and I'm gonna build my character because
Build it.
Yeah, I got kind of an idea of what I wanted. So for class, I'm gonna go with Guardian.
Ooh, big tanky boy.
Big tanky boy, yeah.
All right.
It's gonna be a nasty fella. There it is.
Any idea on subclass at all?
I think I was. Let me see.
And if not, we can go to the next and come back for subclass.
Come back to me. I want to pull the stuff up. I have it here, but.
All right, Brad.
Well, how fitting it should be that we follow our tanky boy with a healer. I'm going to play as a druid, specifically the Warden of Renewal subclass.
Cool. So you're going to use powerful magic to heal your party members.
You're not allowed to die yet.
Cool. Carl, you know what you want to play?
Yeah, I think I'm going to play the Nightwalker Rogue.
Ooh, the Rogue. Not the Syndicate Rogue, but the Nightwalker.
I feel like given my character's heritage, it'd be more fun to be a Nightwalker.
Yeah. Shadow manipulation and heavy maneuverability. I like it. Eric, you know what you're doing yet?
I'm going to be playing as a ranger, specifically a Wayfinder ranger.
Do you know? And you said something about doing melee, right? With that ranger?
Yes.
Interesting. Very cool. And then, Mike, what crazy bullshit are you up to?
I am going to be a warrior subclass slayer.
Kill shit fast and hard. Got it.
How we do.
Stand
Alright.
next to me, sir.
I mean, I'm going to talk a lot of shit about a half pace behind you.
There
and
you
then
go.
throw bombs over you.
That's how it works.
Yeah. Classic bar fight.
All right. So we have a guardian, a druid. Any update on Alex's subclass? Or you still want to hold off a little bit on that?
no,
You
no,
can
no, we're
change it
good.
later too if you want.
Yeah, we're good. So, one question though. So, do I pick the foundation and the domain right now, or is the domain? I can pick between those two whenever
I think we do domain a little later on in this character
Okay.
creation
Yeah, you
process.
can do it later.
They're like step 8, it looks like.
For foundation, I'm going to take vengeance.
Okay.
Your
and
foundation is your subclass, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So that'll
okay. I
give
was
you
like, what is a
special stuff.
foundation?
It'll give you special stuff now, and then I think at like level 5, and then again at a higher level if we get that far,
We'll
If you actually don't multi-class.
which you can only do starting at level 5 because Alex and I looked it up earlier. So
You can't get the advanced features of your class if you multi-class.
Oh, that's good to know.
that is the price you pay, I guess. All right. Choose your heritage. Reverse order. Mike, what heritage will
Oh,
you be?
God. I am going to
Ancestry.
go... I was reading something else. Shit. Ridge... I got it.
like I thought I had plenty of time.
No shit. I am going to go as a Ridgeborn.
Oh,
from
yeah,
the
where's-
peaks.
Ridgeborn, which ancestry? You said you're going to be a giant, if I remember
Oh
correctly?
shit, we're starting with that. Yeah, I'm gonna be a giant
Okay.
with
Yeah.
one eye, so a cyclops.
But yeah, if you know both, just call them both out. That's fine. So giant Ridgeborn.
Where do we
Yes.
find the heritages? I know that. I
If
know
you
where
would
the,
open up your freaking character creation sheet, it'd be right there.
It's on page 22.
Or
That's
that.
a shit. It's under community.
If you
That'll
go
be
to
the
your
one
class
time.
thing, it's also
I
in
am
there
in
as
the
well.
wrong PDF, I think.
Yeah, it should be the open playtest manuscript for 1.4.1.
Oh, .1.
Yeah,
I only
that
have
was
the
the
one.
update that was made today.
Well,
I can also pop it open up here. I think I have it saved in here.
That's in our channel, right?
Yeah.
It's in the Google Drive that's in the channel. Yes.
Give
Yeah,
me
and
a
if you already have your class, you can open a class package, and that'll
Yeah, I
It'll
have the
give you-
class package already open, but I didn't have the
In your class package, it's
Got
also
one.
in there. It's going to be like pages
yeah, it's
9 and 10, 9 through 12, basically.
Yeah, they did a good
Mhm.
job with the class package to make it so, like, let's say that's all you have. Well, there's a 21-page PDF that lists everything you need to make your guy.
Yeah.
yeah, they laid it out pretty good.
which
That's literally what I have open to do.
So
my-
ancestry starts on page 9, and then the communities begin.
It's like right.
Where are the
Heritage.
communities?
right after like page
Yeah,
11 or something.
Oh, yeah, there they are. They start at page 11.
Right now.
I got it pulled up on the screen too, if you need to take a look.
Once it downloads, it's downloading now.
All right, you're
I'll
good.
just open
You don't
that
need to
up.
call it out right now. So, Mike, we've got giant ridgeborn. So you were born kind of like in the mountains area. Any
Yes.
specifics you were thinking about as far as ridgeborn? Like any ideas about what your home would be?
I guess I don't know enough about giants in this world. Are they nomadic?
That's one of the coolest things I think about Daggerheart is whatever you want giants to be, we can agree on that at this point, honestly.
Let me think on that.
All right.
I don't know.
Eric?
I am going to be going I don't know how to say this, Simia?
I think it's Simia.
Simia? That makes more sense because
I'm pretty sure.
Simia. And it's going to be also a wildborn.
Okay. And what was Wildborn again? It's just in the wilderness. You are feral, basically.
Yep, being part of the wildborn community means you live deep within the forest.
Would you say that your character used to throw poop?
No,
Hell yeah.
No.
but he threw a lot of shit.
You little poop thrower, you.
Lung poo.
He told the shit poop.
You said that was on page 22?
Yes.
Okay. I have that open.
So,
Okay. Are you ready with your answer, or do you want me to skip you and go to Brad?
As far as my community, I'm not really sure yet, but I know I'm going to be a ribbit.
Ribbit. Okay. Frog, dude. Brad.
I am going to play the druid will be a fungal, so a mushroom person. And like Eric, I also elected to be wildborn because being a fungus from the center of a forest just made sense. I also debated on being what's the other community I looked at? Underborn with the low light living, where you can have advantage on rolls to hide, investigate, or perceive details within low light. But the idea of moving silently as a druid kind of seemed a little more fitting.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm kind of torn between Seaborn, Underborn, and Wildborn.
Okay. Seaborn, Underborn, and Wildborn. What would be your logic around Seaborn?
Frog shit. I don't know.
Okay. I think those are all viable options, depending on how you want to play them.
I guess I'll just look closer at the actual character itself.
Seaborn has Know the
Now, is this like other games where we have like dark vision and stuff like that, or lack thereof?
Sorta.
Sort of, yeah. Dark vision is way more rare in this.
Yeah.
So you don't have to obnoxiously say it every 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Unless you
don't
have it,
forget
then
my-
you say it all the time.
That's
Or
what
is
I'm
it-
saying.
Yeah, as a DM, you don't have to assume that everybody has it except for humans.
And I think I was thinking with Seaborn because of his amphibious trait, given that he can breathe and move underwater.
Yeah. True. Alex, what you thinking, bud?
Well, being a big old tanky boy, I think it came down to two options, and I think Galapa is the one I'm going to go with.
Hell yeah.
Ooh. Turtle.
Yeah, so I'm a turtle person, and I have a shell of protection, which adds to my armor score, which is pretty dope. Slow and steady. I can make an attack roll with advantage by placing an additional token on the action tracker. That's fun. And I think I'm going to go Loreborn. I see this guy as somebody who's been attached to the military basically his whole life. So when it comes to politics and history, culture, I feel like he'd be really well versed.
Okay.
Hell
So
yeah.
you're going Loreborn. Very
So-
well read individual.
I see on my character sheet where I have the option to put my heritage and my subclass. I do not see where I put the
Community.
community. Yeah.
I put it in my heritage tab. So I just put like
Okay.
fungal dash wildborn.
Yeah. To be clear,
Okay.
ancestry and community go together to be your heritage.
Yeah.
So
it's
Oh,
both.
well, gotcha.
they're two
Okay.
parts of one thing.
Ooh, I'm gonna make it say Wildborn Fungirl then, because that just sounds better.
Mm-hmm. As it is intended to be. All right.
That's me.
All right, so for languages, for anyone who's curious, you don't really choose languages in this. You basically assume everyone knows similar languages. If you want to have specific regional languages, we could, but I feel like every time we've tried to do that in other games, it doesn't really become a thing that we use anyway. So
The idea of having one comprehensive language that we all speak is pretty fitting.
yeah, I think if this was more of a gritty kind of game, I would say maybe then, but
Yeah.
we're doing the heroic fantasy thing, so let's not worry about it. All right. Carl, did you decide what your community is going to be yet? Or are you just
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with
let it ride?
Seaborn. I feel like that one would be kind of like the most interesting.
Cool. And then Seaborn.
Yeah, you see what's happening to me right now.
Alex just shrinking because his chair doesn't have pressure.
Basically.
Not only that, but the WD-40 is clearly not quelling the
WD-40.
squeaks quite the way that I thought that it would.
The real joke is his seat is not on a telescoping rod.
Way to break the fourth wall.
Damn.
Sheesh.
All right, so we are on assign your traits. So you are going to assign values to the character traits on your character sheet. These values are going to reflect your natural or trained ability in each of the core 6 stats: agility, strength, finesse, knowledge, instinct, and presence. You can read for yourself what each of them do at length if you want to. Agility does sprinting, leaping, maneuvering. Strength, lift, smash, and grapple. Finesse, control, hide, and tinker. Instinct, perceive, sense, and navigate. Presence, charm, perform, deceive. And knowledge, recall, analyze, and comprehend. If you guys want to talk about who's going to do what, that's probably not a bad idea. Just saying.
I am not going to be knowledging. Say that right now.
So
No.
I'm actually going with, just so y'all know, with the druid's basic stats, because instinct apparently rules everything for my class.
Oh, you don't get to choose? It just kind of does?
No, there's a generic suggested traits and suggested primary weapon, and you can kind of tie into that. But instinct is like your ability to perceive, sense, and navigate, and I feel like somehow that's really tied into some of the stuff that druids do.
Each class kind of has a skill or one or two of them that they really focus heavily on if you look at all of their abilities and things they can do.
Got it.
Yeah, so like most of our, like I got to make spellcasting rolls on a lot of things, but yeah, like most of my, not most, I shouldn't say, some of my spells are tied specifically to instinct. So my spellcasting ability, like as I look at subclass foundational spells like Warden of the Elements and Warden of Renewal, my spellcasting skill is instinct, so I'm going to use that.
Oh, got it. They just tell you what it is, kind of like, got it.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm planning going agility focused with my ranger.
I also am planning on going agility focused.
Okay.
Makes sense.
So, Brad, you said you're going
I'm just
instinct
letting
for your +2, basically,
Yeah.
and then everything else falls in from there.
correct.
Got it.
My big guy is going to be strength focused, as it should.
Makes sense.
And then agility and presence. Knowledge and instinct with the 0, and finesse as the 1 because I'm a turtle and I feel like I probably don't have much finesse.
I like that.
My -1's going to be presence.
Yeah, how do you
My
want us to
negative
do
one
this?
is also presence.
Do you want us to
become best friends?
Do you want us to run across the whole spectrum here, Jay, or how do you want us to do this?
I think we can just go in order, and you can say what your order is for your +2, +1, +1, 0, 0, and -1.
Sure.
So, Alex, do it.
Strength, agility, presence, knowledge, instinct, finesse.
Okay. Brad,
So you want us to just list them +2 down to... Okay.
in the order that they're going to be.
Instinct is a +2. Agility and finesse are both +1. Strength and knowledge are both 0. And we have a non-charismatic party because I also have a -1 presence.
Oh, dude, somebody's got to have some presence. Oh no!
If I need to,
We do. It's going to be physical presence.
If I need
Yeah,
to,
I
I'll
guess.
move a couple. If I need to, I'll move a couple things around, and I can be a
We're
big lumbering fungus rather than
We're
the
just-
small one.
We're a bunch of big lumbering dipshits. That's what I'm hearing so far. with no riz.
We're the 18 without any charisma.
Carl, save us.
All right, so I've got agility, finesse, instinct, presence, knowledge, and strength.
Oh, good.
Okay.
He's at least a 0 in presence.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna go -1 in presence because he's very small, but I decided to put that in strength because we apparently have no panache. In this
I,
one.
I actually think his small stature and what he's doing is actually kind of commanding of a bit of presence.
He's gonna need to riz everybody up.
Yeah.
Carl, how
Did I use
big
the
is
word
your
right?
Frog gonna be?
Sort of, Brad. You did great.
I think he's gonna be roughly the size of a basketball in height.
A fucking basketball.
He's just gonna get punted.
Dude, if you ever get in danger, you can just slide into one of our bags.
That's the plan. That's where I don't.
Bro,
walk.
but if you're full size, think about what your tongue could do.
True.
Just
Doesn't
saying.
a ribbit like use its tongue as a weapon?
Oh
yeah, I totally can. I
That
totally can
too,
use that as
sure.
a weapon.
Alex, god damn it, dude.
No,
All right,
no.
and then,
Now
all right,
I-
then I'm gonna be at like a 12-foot tall ribbit. Then how's that?
Yeah, like a Naruto toad.
No,
I remember
like the idea of
seeing
being very
that.
small.
You can grab things with your tongue. That was in the character description.
Yeah.
It's just when Mike said it, yeah, immediately I thought he meant
What did
something
I
else.
do?
So if I question on logistics here, if I can grab things with my tongue, if the thing is heavier than me, can I pull myself to the thing?
I would say yeah.
Hell yeah.
Now, if it's just very nearly heavier than you, you're probably gonna slide it and pull toward it.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Did this basketball just get bigger?
No.
Okay.
Eric, what stats you got?
Agility, finesse, instinct, knowledge, strength, presence.
Okay. All right, Mike. Give me the big dum dum.
All right. Strength, big surprise. Agility, instinct, presence, knowledge, finesse. And
Okay.
a bumbling meat
But
popsicle.
But your presence it's still a 0, so that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm totally dumb. I missed the fact that my presence is a +1. So
Oh,
Should
nice.
probably change that.
Oh, so
So
you're
we're
the face. So you're the face of the party. Got it.
yeah, great, great.
All right. Additional character information. So each class should have an evasion score that's kind of already set up for it.
Yeah.
I
So
don't know where to
record that.
find that.
It's going to be in your class package, and it's going to be on page...
2.
Yeah.
Where it says evasion, it says right below it says start at.
Yep. There it is.
If you're a rogue, it starts at 11, unless they've changed it.
Yeah,
Oh,
rogues
yeah,
that
I start
actually-
at 11. You're right.
That already includes everything. We just straight up put whatever it has on there.
That's your starting evasion. It could get modified from a different number of
Got it.
different
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
You got it, dude.
So do any of my stats change the modifier to that at all?
No,
Nope.
Okay.
it'd be a specific ability or something that calls it out. Like, because I'm a simia or whatever, I get a +1 because of my racial thing.
Oh, let me
I
check.
think
and see if-
when we get into like domain cards and stuff like that, some of those might change it.
Okay. Okay.
Or if you have armor, that bumps it.
Yep. Evasion in this is basically pretty close to armor class. It's the thing that decides if they hit you or not. The way that you describe why they're not hitting you is completely up to you. It doesn't matter what it is. You could be, if you're a magic user, you could be blocking it with like arcane hands that show up out of nowhere. If you are really dodgy, you can be dodging it. If you're a big giant, Mike, you could just be like shoulder checking into every hit that they do and just be like, "Ugh, whatever."
Hell yeah.
Stick to the side of his axe.
Hit points and stress points. So again, these will be kind of dictated, at least the start points for your class. Hit points work a little differently in Daggerheart than what we're typically used to. So there are 3 thresholds. Eric just giggles.
Very different.
Your class is going to have 3 thresholds. So you're going to be like your minor threshold, your middle threshold, and your higher threshold, whatever they're called. If you are at your minor one, above your minor one, but below your middle one, you take 1 hit point of damage. If you're above the middle one, but below the severe one, you take 2. And then if you're above that highest one, you take 3. There is an optional rule for severe damage that will give it 1 more damage point. We can play with that on if you guys want. I don't really have a preference personally. Yeah. I knew Brad was going to be
honestly think I was going to say no to that.
I'd be fine with massive damage. Okay. That's what it's called, the massive damage optional thing.
Thanks, Eric. I'm just going to keep screwing things up on purpose and letting Eric correct me because
the massive damage threshold is going to be double your severe damage threshold.
Yep. So if you want to note that on yours as well, like just off to the side or whatever, it's fine.
Wait, so how do we know how much HP that we have?
If you go to your character packet, it's the easiest way to start. It'll have it basically already auto set from the start.
Okay.
Yeah, so rogue.
Mine shows us as blank.
So the number of boxes that are fully closed in are your hit points. So like on the Druid package, I have 6 hit point boxes that have a solid line around them. That's my hit points.
Yeah. Which I also have. And you see the number.
Okay. So it's not. Yeah. It's okay.
You don't lose hit points in this. You get hit and
so it's like gaining wounds rather than maintaining health. Got it.
Yep.
Okay.
Correct.
So then,
similarly,
I guess if I'm looking at this correctly, I have 6 then.
Most likely
6 is basically the starting point for like everyone.
And then under where it says hit points and stress, it'll say in your character packet starts at minor 3, major 9, severe whatever. So it'll just tell you what those are.
I'm just a soft squishy fungus because my numbers are way lower than that.
Mine are lower as well. I mean,
I would assume
Alex is a guardian.
I would assume that mine should be the highest in the group.
I hope
it's
so.
supposed to.
They can get theirs really high with some of their abilities and stuff.
That's the plan.
Oh shit! I start with an additional hit point slot.
Hell yeah!
It's your giant.
You're a giant.
Fuck yeah!
Hold on. Wait. Whoa.
Well, that's hard to put onto this fillable form. Motherfucker.
Yeah. How do we change that on the fillable form? Because like.
You might not be able to.
So are we checking? Are we checking these first
Don't
whatever
check them
bracketed
until you
boxes?
take the damage. Don't check them until you take the damage.
That's what that is. Okay.
It's like the character sheet that I have has 5 solid squares for stress, whereas the packet has 6 for.
Yeah, mine is the same. So just mark that you're supposed to have 6 on.
Yeah, like, that PDF fillable because it's not an official resource from Darrington Press yet. We got that. Probably from an older version.
It's 100% from an older version. It's from 1.2.
Oh, wow.
Cool.
There's a reason I printed mine off.
I'll have to bring mine to not work and edit this.
Yeah. I'm gonna end up going to also print mine at some point, but for now, it works.
We'll get you guys printed sheets at some point.
I'll make it work.
Stress points are something that we are definitely not used to. Marking stress points, you kind of use it as a resource most of the time, or that things can happen in a situation that cause you to take stress. I believe you still get a damage if you get to your max stress and take another one.
You do. If you fill up all your stress and need to take another one, it's a 1 hit point.
Yep.
Damage.
And I don't think you can choose to use stress if you don't have any available, but you can still take stress from environmental stuff and whatever else. So I'll have to clarify that when we're playing. But cool. All right. Next. Anything else on that? Well, hope and fear. Everybody's going to start with 2 hope. I have that marked in Foundry already. You can mark it on your sheet if you want to. I will start with 2 fear. It is my resource. Just kind of to walk through how that works. Rather than a D20 or a D100, you as players will be rolling 2d12. One of them will be designated as your hope dice, one of them as your fear. As you're rolling checks, whichever one comes up higher dictates which resource gets generated into the game. Hope, if it's higher, you specifically get a hope. Fear, if it's higher, I get a fear. I can't have more than 10 fear at any given point in time. You can't have any more than 6 hope at any point in time. You can use hope for a few different things. I have a reference sheet here so that I don't forget. You can use hope to help an ally. You can use hope to utilize one of your experiences on a roll. So when we get to choosing experiences, you can burn 1 hope to apply that +2 or +1 to whatever we're rolling, assuming it makes sense in that moment. And you can activate hope features with it, which we'll get into as we're selecting abilities and stuff like that. Just so you're aware what I can do with fear. I can interrupt players during combat to take an action with fear. I can add 2 tokens to the action tracker, which I use the action tracker tokens to activate your adversaries and environmental effects. And then I can use adversaries' fear features, which I can't do if I don't have fear, or environments' fear features, which each environment has its own stat block in this game as well. So, cool. Starting equipment. Eric and Mike, I know we talked ahead of time about some starting equipment. The game does not have scimitars, but we kind of found broadswords are pretty close. So we're just kind of reskin a broadsword as scimitars for this game. Similarly, Mike, you asked about doing unarmed combat. You wanted to do bladed knuckles, basically. I kind of downgraded those because those are a tier 1 item. We can only start with tier 0. Those do a 1d10 plus 6 at tier 1, so I downgraded them to be similar to something. They do 1d10 plus 3. They're just knuckle dusters. They will maintain the brutal feature. We'll see how that goes. I may hate that later, but I'm just going to roll with it anyway. I don't care. Anybody need help choosing weapons? Or
Yeah, I'm looking at them now, and I'm like, how do I know if I am able to use these magic weapons? Because I was reading in the thing there,
Yep.
And it says like if you have a spell casting trait. I don't know if I do or not.
I don't think rogues do, but they might.
They do.
They do.
They are basically a half caster type thing. One of their things is a spellcaster.
Yep, they sure can. Spellcast trait of finesse. So you can pick a tier 0 magic weapon as your starting weapon if you want to.
That's pretty
Where do you
sick.
see that? I'm looking at the packet and I don't see it.
The fact that you have a spellcast trait?
Yes.
I'm looking in the main book. If you look at my shared screen here, it says spellcast trait finesse right under your Nightwalker subclass.
Oh, yep.
Dude, the finesse returning blade. That's dope.
Mm-hmm. Cool. And then for equipment, where is equipment?
Oh my god, they made daggers actually worth something in this game.
Nice.
They did, yeah. All of the secondary weapons have like features that
That's a
are
primary
really
weapon.
useful.
A dagger
Oh,
is
is
a
it?
finesse melee D8 plus 1 physical one-handed primary weapon at tier 0.
Oh shit.
Yeah, there's a small dagger in the secondary. Which, speaking of weapons, I'm doing a broadsword as my main and a short sword as my secondary.
Nice. So you're
And both of them are going to be like curved scimitar type blades. But
got it.
He's got
Broadsword stat
curved
block.
swords. Curved swords.
And then you said you're gonna do a
Is there a way to see for weapons, like how do we tell that they're tier 0, or is it just the
It's at
starting?
the top where it
Yeah.
says tier 0 level 1 starting primary weapons.
the ones in
It's
your
also
player packet. You can select from any of those. I think those are specifically catered to
I apparently
character
don't have the game reference page.
Do you have the big playtest manuscript 1.4.1 open?
Yes.
125.
5.
And that'll list all the tier
here's
0
the-
starting weapons. Yep. And then when you want to get to secondaries, you got to scroll down to, I think, 130?
Okay.
they're
This is
also available in the character
Yeah.
class packet as well.
Yep.
On page 7.
What the hell are glowing rings?
Where do you
Sounds
see those?
dope.
Those are in tier 0 magical weapons.
I think they're like circle blades that like have a magical glow. Because I think they're magical weapons.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, they are.
hand
Call it a
runes.
Xena warrior princess
That
weapon.
sounds kind of dope too. Like you just have runes on your hands that are your weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just pew, 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 pew. It's pretty dope.
If nobody else is ready, I know what I'm doing.
Go
Alex,
for it. I'll
lead us
follow you.
off. What is our guardian wielding?
So, it might change slightly because I just reinterpreted what I was doing here. So, my character probably should wield a strength-based weapon. But I really want to have a shield because I see him more of like a sponge. So, I think I am going to do the broadsword.
Why not the mace, out of curiosity?
What's that?
Why not the one-handed mace, out of curiosity?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think I was looking at the +1 to attack, which basically makes it a +2 anyway, and I don't get a benefit from the mace. So I'm basically
Broadsword is, I guess, I'm going to say this. You're talking about something else, never mind.
well,
think you're
yeah, the mace
damaged.
actually has the +1 too. So
+1 on the mace is only to damage.
Yeah.
The +1
Right.
on the broadsword is only to the attack to hit.
right,
Not
that's
the
what I'm
damage.
saying. So with the broadsword, I would hit with a +2 anyway
Right.
because I'm not, even though it's an agility weapon, but
Sure.
honestly, I could do more damage with the mace, so it probably does make more sense to do that.
You
So,
could
yeah,
also
I'll-
go back and swap out your traits if you decide you wanted to use something else as your
No,
primary.
It's okay. Yeah, I'm gonna do the mace.
And then you're
and-
going to pick up a shield as well.
I am going to pick up a shield, absolutely, sir.
Do you know what shield you're taking?
That is where I'm trying to decide if beefing up my armor significantly makes up for the fact that I'm going to get hit a lot. So I'm trying to weigh between armor being more beneficial than evasion. But yeah, I think I'm going to do the tower shield.
There you go.
It makes
Um,
sense with your class, I think.
I
Guardian
think it does,
has
too.
so many more things that deal with armor than deal with evasion. So
Right. So
Yeah.
I'll do the tower shield that adds +4 to my armor score and -2 to my evasion.
Nice.
Now we're not doing armor yet, but my calculus was coming in with that too, because the armor I'm going to select will probably also lower my evasion. So
you're going to be burning lots of armor slots is what you're telling me.
I'm going to be getting hit a lot. And that's what I'm saying. Like I'm trying to determine whether having that super high armor outweighs having a super low evasion.
Just a heads up, I don't know what version that you're looking at. I think in the newest version, it's +3 to your armor score and -2 to evasion, not +4.
Yep. I have it pulled up on screen right here.
+3 to my
Armor
yeah,
and
they
-2 to
dropped
evasion
it a little bit.
Oh,
for the
hate
tower
that.
shield. Yeah. I'm assuming
+4
it's
is kind of a lot.
because something came out of the beta testing, the open
that-
beta testing that we're
That
doing.
might
right now.
actually change things though.
I
Because
would-
plus
I will tell you
+2
this
to
much.
my armor.
Do it. Take that tower shield. I got you, bro. I got you.
Get a
I
druid.
understand.
You're fine.
There's some cool druid shit that lets me fix your armor. So, take the armor.
I understand. Is -2 to my evasion worth +1 to the armor though?
Because you have things, especially, I don't know which subclass you are, but there's one that literally you can reflect damage back when
Yeah.
you get hit. You
Yes.
don't want to get them to miss.
You don't wanna
want them
dodge.
to hit you.
And the round shield in the newer version is only +1 to your armor score.
Oh,
Correct.
Now the
Yeah.
decision is made. Tower
Yeah.
shield. Okay,
Attaboy.
They reduced all shields down by 1. So
I got you. Yeah. All right. So I am mace and tower shield,
hell yeah.
and that's me.
I love this.
Brad, what are you wielding?
So especially, and this is why I said take that armor, is I have the ability with Warden's Protection, which is a specialization feature, to once per long rest magically repair your armor outside of downtime. It's a great thing.
I dig that.
That being said, I am going to go with the short staff, which is a magical weapon, instinct, close range, D8 +1 magical damage. And accompanying that wonderful one-handed staff that's going to throw fungal spores in people's faces, I have a round shield, adding 1 to my armor score.
Oh, you're going staff and shield.
The short staff it's a one-handed staff that like I'm envisioning it just throwing clouds of spores at people. So yeah.
Yeah, this is one thing I actually miss from like 3.5 Dungeons and Dragons, where the druids used to have a shield.
Hell yeah, dude.
100% of the time.
3.5 druids were so much cooler than 5e druids, in my opinion.
I agree with that. All right.
And if we're doing armor at the same time, I'm choosing standard leather armor, no extra evasion, just 4 AP. So with the shield, I have 5.
Hell yeah. Carl, what you got?
Well, I'm looking at the broadsword just because on sheer stats, it seems to be the most. The feature is reliable, so. Go with
So you're
that.
going with close range? You're not going ranged?
Well, I mean, I was also looking at the short bow because it's good on agility, and I don't feel like I would be very good in close combat.
Yep. I'll also remind everyone, and probably say this out loud for the first time on stream here, that we are doing zone-based combat. We're not doing mapped square-based combat. So far basically means you can shoot 2 zones away.
Okay. So
And
you said
every
if
zone's
we
like
choose
10 to 30 feet around, give or take.
if we choose a primary weapon that is two-handed, we don't get a secondary weapon.
You still get a secondary weapon, you just can't
just can't
have it drawn at the same time.
Oh, okay, that changes things.
And drawing it in combat, I think, is considered a like action.
I
then
think
I'm
it
probably
is.
going
I'll
to go with
double check.
I'm probably going to go with a short bow then. That
I
seems
think
like
it's a free action. I could be wrong though.
I think
Yeah,
based on what I
Within
read,
reason.
it said it could be an action and could need a test depending on the situation. So if you're like right up in someone's grill and you're trying to switch weapons, I might have you roll something and hope or fear it and see if you fuck it up or not.
Makes
just
sense.
I will say that in the new 1.41, just for you, Jay, the 1.41 on page 121, switching weapons, you can use an action to equip an inventory weapon, moving your previous active weapon into your inventory weapon section.
Yep.
So,
But if you're using an action, you basically have to roll hope and fear. That's
and also
pretty much
it looks like the
the whole
inventory
thing.
slots
Or give
aren't
an action
considered your
token at least.
standard equipped secondary item, so that makes sense.
We'll figure that out. I'll come to a consensus on how I'm going to do it. I'm either going to have you do a roll, or I'll just have you give up an action token to the pool, which that one actually kind of makes more sense now that I'm thinking about it. Anyway, so I can come back to you, Carl, if you're not sure which one you want yet.
I think I'm going to go with short bow for primary, and now I'm just looking at secondary weapons.
Okay.
Not really sure which one I would. Probably a short sword.
Okay.
Short sword because small dagger is finesse, and I have higher agility, so I'm going to go with the short sword.
Cool.
That makes sense.
I'll let you take a look at armor before I pressure you into which armor you want. But Eric, you said you're doing a broadsword skinned as a scimitar with a short sword secondary.
Yep. Also kind of skinned as a scimitar, a smaller
Sure.
version of one.
Makes sense.
And then for my armor, I'm doing the Gabison armor.
I'm also going to do Gambison.
Gambison or whatever you
What
call
page is
it.
armor on?
That's on page 135.
Thank you. Just want to pull it up on screen here.
Yeah.
Mike.
So I am going knuckle and duster for my my weapons, and I think that's it, right? Like,
Yeah.
You still get a
yeah.
secondary, don't you?
Yeah,
Oh,
you
do
can
I?
get a secondary.
Okay. What do I want for a secondary?
Oh my god, the whip is actually so cool. I wish we had a presence-based character.
Yeah, they did some cool things with that.
That is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Whip crack. Mark a stress to scatter enemies in melee into close range. Nice.
Yeah.
It's like disengage with a weapon.
Man, I'm really not seeing. Oh, secondary weapon. Here we go.
What's your strength primarily? What's your plus ones?
Agility and instinct. I'm thinking I might fucks with the grappler.
Oh,
Oh, that's finesse though.
And
This
I'm going to
this
say
character PDF sheet
Yeah.
doesn't allow you to put the range or damage dice on your secondary. That's fine.
we'll get you guys printed sheets before we actually play session 1. So,
That's fine. I'm sorry, I keep
What were you saying,
fine.
Justin?
I was going to say to everyone, it's not too late until we finalize at the end of this to go back and change your traits, which ones are +1s and whatnot too. So if you decide at any point you're like, I want finesse to be my +1, not whatever else, you certainly can do that.
Yeah, I think
Nothing's
I
locked in.
might be doing that, but I don't know yet. Mm-mm. It's either going to be a round shield or the grappler. Kind of going back and forth there.
Okay. Alex, what armor are you taking there?
Well,
Going full plate or chainmail? That's all I need to know.
I'm going full plate.
yes. Let's go.
Might
I'm
as
doing
well
round
go
shield.
for it.
Okay.
So that being said, now with the full plate, with the tower shield, my armor is 14 and my evasion is 3. So
Let's go. Make it easy to
also
hit
my-
you, but I'll be there to heal.
my agility is also now 0 instead of +1. So
What is the stat? Is it like armor score or something? What is yours?
pardon.
There's like a amount that it reduces the damage incoming.
It's just called
per.
armor.
Mine is 14 and I have 7 armor slots.
Oh, I see. It's 14.
Mhm.
That's a lot. Holy shit!
Yes, it's a lot. It's amazing. I'm
It
so excited.
Damn well better be. I can't get out of the way now, so it better be okay.
Pretty much never gonna hit you. Got it.
Oh,
As
you'll
long as
hit
you have-
him. You just won't
As long
hurt
as you
him.
have armor slots, it's not gonna hurt you.
Exactly.
That's it. All right. Cool. All right.
I mean, I'm a turtle in full plate armor with a tower shield.
I love it.
I hope so.
I love it.
It's
I
pretty cool.
hope nothing hits me. Create your background. All right. For this part, this is where we start to get into the less, I guess I'll call them mechanical-y things. So for your background, you're going to be filling in that section. There's several prompts provided in your character packet.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of think of those as a place to start, but you don't necessarily have to use any of those. It's purely narrative, so this will help me figure out how I'm approaching you as a character during session. But other than that, there's not like a number that goes along with these. So I don't know if you guys want to take like 5 minutes to figure this out, and we can kind of just go quiet, and or do we want to
For what
talk
now?
through it?
Again, I was reading. Sorry.
Yeah, so we're going to create your background. So
Oh,
in
yeah.
your character packet, there's some suggestions on how this can go. You don't have to follow those, but they're a good jumping point to kind of give you some ideas.
Hang on, I'm just trying to fill out the features and stuff on these.
And if anybody wants to read out some of their stuff on their character packet, feel free.
And I think the armor changed from the last version to this. I'm going to be using leather armor.
Standard,
Okay.
just 4 armor. Super easy.
For some reason, I had breastplate written down, but I don't. I think that must have been removed, or I was dumb.
Looking at some of these
I
backgrounds.
guess this is a interesting one, but the background question I have is: a terrible creature hurt your community, and you vowed to hunt them down. What are they, and what unique trail or sign did they leave behind anywhere they go?
Ooh. I'm going to read mine off in a minute because I've got most of them answered.
Is anybody trying to make up new ones, or should we just go with the ones on your sheet for funsies, since this is our first time playing this game?
I'm just going to use the ones on my sheet.
I'm
just to
using
make
the
it easy.
sheet.
I'm going to kind of go through and read them here in a minute, but I'm going to give you guys a couple
I
silent
have
moments.
no idea where
I'm
you-
actually
where to
good.
start.
Do you know where you're looking, Carl? At least?
The background questions, I assume.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't really know.
I got mine ready whenever.
Okay. Well, let's go through Alex's and see if his ideas spark any ideas for you, Carl.
We're just going to do background questions now, connections later, correct?
Yep, we'll do connections, I think, is next.
Beautiful.
Or I think, no, experiences is next. Connections, one of the last things we do, I think. All right, so you're a guardian. So let me pop that open really quick. And Alex, who from your community did you fail to protect? And why do you still think of them?
My knight. I guess I see myself as sort of a squire or a leader of like initiates, kind of.
Yeah.
And I was pinned down in battle and could not help, and I feel very deep guilt and regret.
Cool.
He did.
He did. Did you, and this is a follow-up question off the top of my mind, do you think you would have taken any mementos from him after he passed?
That is the second part of this.
Okay, cool. You've recently been tasked with protecting something important, with the goal of delivering it somewhere dangerous. What is it, and where does it need to go?
It is an amulet from the knight that was killed, and it's a family heirloom, and I am delivering it to his son in Amarat,
Amarat.
or wherever you want it to
No,
be.
I'm going to ask you, what is Amarat? Describe Amarat a little bit.
I would sure.
And it could be amorphous as hell. Just give me like one cool location in Amarat. What's Amarat known for?
I think Amarat is a very swampy location with lots of people like me, and we are known for a ancient temple that is considered a holy place in our area, and this knight helped to protect this temple, and that is, I'm gonna assume, part of how I started to follow this order.
Okay.
If you'll allow it.
Yeah, we're
That just came-
spitballing world building right now.
That just
So
came fully out of my ass, so if it's
I'll listen to it again later to make sure it makes sense. But what race are you again? What heritage?
I'm a galapa. I'm a turtle. Tortoise.
Okay. Cool.
I'm Dana
Maybe-
Carvey.
Your answer there kind of makes me think maybe our order that we're doing also has some ties to protecting artifacts around the world at different temples. So that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Um,
kind of, I don't know, that's where my mind went immediately. So
Sweet. I love it. You consider an aspect of yourself to be a weakness. What is it, and how has it affected you?
empathy. I believe empathy has in the past led to betrayal. So I am very on guard with trying to understand other people's feelings because I see it to be a weakness.
Interesting. Do you lean into logic more then?
I try to.
You're a
even though I'm
stoic.
dumbass.
Right.
but yes, I try to look at things logically and not empathetically because I think I've been duped in the past, and I feel like people will use that emotion to get the better of me.
Don't worry, they will.
I know.
All right. Who is next?
I can go if we want to go alphabetically. Make it easy. Or Mike, do you want to go?
I can go either one.
Go ahead, man.
All right,
Both of you
Mike,
go, same time.
You are
Both same time.
warrior. All right. Mike, who taught you to fight, and why did they stay behind when you left home?
Me ma.
Okay.
told me if I can't add me sums, then I better be able to squash the folks that make fun of me for not adding me sums.
Is this the direction you're going? I love it.
It is.
Hell yeah. Why did they stay behind when you left home?
She had to sew. She's a seamstress.
Does your mother sew?
She do.
Get her to sew that.
What does your mother think of you joining this order?
She is the proudest giantress that has ever walked the land. She is so proud that her son has broken forth from the cultural bonds and norms and has become a janitor for the order of blank.
Dude, you're the janitor?
I'm the fucking janitor.
They call them sanitation officers here, okay?
It's
Is that what they call?
custodian, dick.
Oh no, man! I'm sure the knights be shitting on us. It's janitor for sure.
Done.
I legitimately wish instead of knuckle dusters, your weapon was a fucking giant broom.
Oh no, I'm coming correct with that. It's not. These things are just weighted training wraps that I'm wrapping around my massive meat fists that I start blasting fools with.
Awesome. Somebody defeated you in battle years ago and left you to die. Who was it? And why did it feel like such a betrayal? If you say your ma again, I swear to God.
No.
That'd be fitting.
It would never be me ma. But my proctor for not adding me sums.
You started a fight with your proctor because you weren't adding your sums?
Hold on.
Awesome.
Are you Jamaican too?
No, I'm not.
Mima for not adding me sums.
No, I'm not. No. That's not the mima that I'm going for.
He's not going Rasta. He's just going.
It was me,
dumb.
No, I'm just dumb, and I put E's when there should be A's. And
All right, water boy.
That's literally what I was thinking. Well, that's the one.
Yeah.
All right. So your proctor beat you to within an inch of death for not adding your sums. Did you
Correct.
start the fight, or did he?
My lack of intelligence started the fight. Is what I'm gonna go with.
Oh my
I
God!
has the dumb also.
So you just basically gave up on your sums after that, I guess.
I was kicked out of school and given a mop.
What legendary place have you always wanted to visit, and why is it so special?
So this one I'm going to need some help with, or I need
Sure.
to work on. Basically, I'm picturing some grand place that's completely out of my station's reach, and that's where I want to go.
There's a lot of those.
I know.
HR.
So,
I'm going to let you noodle on it for a little bit.
thank you.
Just remember, we are in a heroic fantasy setting. Like, there are humongous, ridiculous things. You guys are basically starting in a town that sits beside a sea of fog, like literally a fog ocean. So weird shit abound. You can come up with just about anything and it'll loop in just fine.
Okay.
All right, who's next?
Pick me.
I guess I can wait.
Brad. Let's see. Druids.
Haven't you heard? My name's Caneromyces.
All right, Caneromyces. Hey, look, I said it.
Hey, you actually did. I'm proud of you.
Why was the community you grew up in so reliant on nature and its creatures?
So growing up in the deep woods, we had to live eating, clothing, and surviving on everything around us. But in addition, I see myself as being part of this order of death shepherds, where as Fungrel, we helped escort people to the Earth Mother by recovering their remains and returning them to the Earth to feed the next generation. So we had to be close to nature because our job was to foster nature by returning bodies to it.
Okay.
The level of
Neat.
concern on your face makes me extremely happy.
Tell me more about this death order. Is this just you? Like you're
Well, it's
Wildborn,
our
right?
entire community. So we,
Okay.
as Fungrels, wander through the wilds and help find bodies or creatures or organisms and return them to the earth and help them decay faster to fuel the next generation.
Do you picture yourself just like introducing spores of the right variety to the body to let fungus itself do the work?
We'll use spores.
Actively eat these creatures?
No. That would be unseen. We do not eat the creatures themselves. We introduce the spores that grow the next generation of fungrels on them.
Ah, so you reproduce on corpses. That's cool.
Mildly cannibalistic.
Doesn't sound much better than eating the bodies.
I don't eat them. My kids do. By the way, I have about 10,000.
You literally... Never mind.
Sure, we'll get
I don't
more
want to
into
use that
later.
word in recording.
What was the first bond you made with a wild animal? Why did it end?
So it was a coyote named Rip, and he and I became bonded as he helped me find corpses within the area, being a eater of dead flesh. And we would use him to help go find places where, you know, creatures felt like, and I'm not talking about just like the rabbit or the deer that dies naturally, right? We're talking about like scenes of battle or like people who came into the woods for unseemly purposes. And so the coyote would help us find all of them and help us return those corpses to the earth while also eating some for themselves.
Symbiotic relationship. Why did it end?
Well, it ended when one of the corpses we stumbled across turned out not to be dead. And as Rip went to get his share, it killed Rip, and then I killed it. Out of anger for losing my buddy, my little puppy buddy.
Did you then return Rip to the earth?
We did. We took him back to the Order's main village and returned him there. He did his job well. He helped spawn 10 of the next generation of fungrels.
Rip.
R.I.P. Rip.
Yep. Who has been trying to hunt you down? What do you think they want from you?
I suspect that the necromancer von Reithoff has been trying to hunt me down because my order stole his Necronomicon after his undead was the one that killed Rip. And so out of retaliation, we went and stole his book. And we've been hiding it ever since.
You stumbled onto an undead. That's the reason that Rip died.
R.I.P. Rip. Rip.
So they're hunting you for their Necronomicon back.
Which we're hiding amongst the order. I don't personally carry it, but I know who does.
All right.
Or I know who did when I left anyway.
Got it. All right, Eric. Let's talk Ranger. A terrible creature hurt your community, and you vowed to hunt them down. What are they? And what unique trail or sign do they leave behind anywhere they go?
A volcanic drake named Cinderax destroyed named a large portion of our village and killed many members of it, including the elder of the village. And they leave a burning trail of wreckage.
Okay, then.
That's amazing.
I don't need any more information on that. I understand. Your first kill almost killed you too. What was it? And what part of you was never the same after this event?
It's a tiger and is my face. I have a scratched claw mark going down the side of it. 4 different claw lines going down across from the top right down to the bottom left.
Badass Simia. Got it.
Yeah. Which also ties into my trophy from my class of I have the teeth of the tiger that I carry with me.
Did you name it?
I did not yet.
Is it named Tony?
No.
You've traveled many dangerous lands, but what is the one place you refuse to go?
The sea.
The water one or the fog one?
The water one. I don't like boats.
Eric, do any of your characters ever like boats?
Nope.
Thorin didn't like boats. Kaz didn't like boats.
You just made a dwarf out of a monkey. He's hunting a dragon, and he's afraid of boats. It's a dwarf
He
monkey.
fucking did.
I'm glad you picked up on that.
As soon as he said dragon, I'm like, I'm gonna keep listening.
So good.
I was like, oh, this is kind of fitting. I'm just gonna play into this. Okay.
It's amazing.
All right, Carl, you ready?
I think so.
That's all right. We'll storybook it together if it doesn't come together naturally.
I'll spend a week like ironing out the fine details.
As long as it's changed for session 1, we're good. What did you get caught doing that had you exiled from your home community?
So my home community is a complex one. Based on what species of ribbit you were, my particular flavor was the poison dart kind, and they are, the violent, seedy underbelly kind. And I got kicked out because, despite my many warnings from my peers, I wouldn't stop hanging out with the surfing tree frog hooligans.
You wouldn't stop hanging out with the surfing tree frog?
Yeah, the hooligans that are out there always, eating weird things, making themselves feel all strange, and going out surfing on the water. That's not what a dart frog is supposed to do. A dart frog is all business.
Ah, you didn't fall into the
we can't
cast
have
of your
that.
society.
Yeah, we can't have that.
All right. And that was enough for them to exile you?
Well, but I wouldn't stop doing it. Those tree frogs are freaking cool guys, man.
Did they try and scare you and then lick you?
No,
Oh,
no, they
okay.
offered me these. Yeah, I won't go into.
You talking about them giant ones with the red eyes that are always
Yeah, they're
doing
really good
stuff,
surfers, man.
You know, doing
They're doing stuff. Yeah, them really red eyes. They're doing stuff. They're eating all these weird mushrooms. and-
Always glaring at people.
Yeah, they got that.
they're
If
eating.
they had hair, it'd probably be long. The
They're
ones.
eating Nero's family.
Yeah.
That's what we're here for. We return bodies to the earth, and in return, we provide energy to others.
All right. You used to have a different life, and this could have been after you got exiled or even before. So keep that in mind. But you've tried to leave it behind you. Who from that time is still chasing you?
That I'll have to get back to you on.
Okay. It's fine. Who from that other life were you most sad to say goodbye to? Surfing tree frog?
I had this pet fly. His name was Superfly. I miss that little fucker.
Damn. I see where this is going. I'm assuming you're around adolescent age.
I don't know how it works for ribbits, but sure.
Do you know Kung Fu?
I don't know. I've never tried.
Mm-hmm. Would you say you're more of a red, blue, purple, or orange kind of person?
Look like this.
Blue. Got it.
Blue.
All right. Mike, any traction on that
Yes.
place of
yeah.
intrigue?
So one day I would like to go to the fabled Geronimo Island, the roost of dragons, which, by the way, are the only beings scientifically proven to be stronger than giants.
Sick. Geronimo Island.
Enjoy
Roost
adding
of
Geronimo
dragons.
Island into your map.
I wasn't going to make a map for this, but I'm definitely going to add it into the lore that it's happening.
That's amazing, Mike. I love it.
And I don't
Roost
know,
of
did you need answers on my clan? I forgot.
Pull up your sheet here. That's Druid. It's Warrior. Where are questions for your clan on your sheet?
Well, I don't know. I just had it listed as a question mark, and then I answered it myself. So I may have made it up. But,
if you made it up, you can make background stuff up. These
all
list
right.
of questions are just a guideline. So if you made one up that you want to add to your character background, let's hear it.
So I've never met them, but Mima tells me that we hail from the Rockslide clan, and she tells me that these are great crag warriors who best their enemies by throwing boulders down the hillside to smite their foes.
Cool. Do you take to that method of dealing with your foes?
Smash is the only way I know.
Hell yeah. All right. Carl, I'll let you keep noodling on your one person who's chasing you. You just
I'll come up with something eventually.
All right, fair enough. Next up is choosing your experiences. So experiences are one of the most interesting mechanics in this game, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
You can kind of be creative with it. You basically, when you are building your character, get two experiences. One that can give you a +2 and one that can give you a +1. Some of the examples of this are kind of around your background. You can phrase it as you used to be like a pirate or a politician. You can also phrase it in a characteristic, like you're a bookworm, you're a coward, you have sticky fingers. You can put it into like a specialty. You're a healer, you're a survivalist. But my favorite here is putting it in a phrase that can be kind of loosely applied around some things. Don't make it too broad. It's meant to be a certain kind of specific, but catch me if you can. Maybe in that, if you use catch me if you can, and you're in a situation where something's chasing you, you could maybe burn a hope to just get a +2 on anything related to them chasing you. Everything, any roll. So it can be pretty loose and broad, but not too broad. And it can't give you new characteristics. Like you can't say take flight and then you can fly. Like obviously that's not going to happen.
Where is this in the rules?
It is
26.
26.
Yep. Okay. Starts on 25 and goes into 26. It's step 7 of character creation.
And we get 2, one with a +2 and one's a +1.
Mm-hmm. The tip here that is also included is if you're not sure what experiences to take, consider the style of the campaign you're playing and the actions you'll want to perform. It's going to be a little bit social, a little bit a problem to solve. You guys have all played with me before. You have a pretty good idea of what kind of game I run. So there's going to be some mystery. There's going to be some social. There's definitely going to be some combat. Just keep all that in mind.
I'm good
right.
if you're ready.
Yeah,
I
same.
think I'm ready too.
All right, Alex, start us off.
This actually applied really well. I'm going to go with never again. And when I have an ally that is in desperate need, I would like to have a + to help defend them. And I would use that as my +2. So like having an urgency to defend people in battle, basically.
I don't think we need to pick what use cases, just you pick the...
No,
and then we get to decide later.
But we want to phrase it in a way that gives us good context. So rather than never again, I will always protect you, or something like I will never fail to protect again, something like that.
Okay.
That way we can narrow it down enough to where if there's protection involved, you can basically be like, I will never fail to protect again.
How about
and then you burn a hope.
Okay. Yeah,
and then
yeah,
you
yeah.
can use it. However you want to phrase it, but something to that effect so that we know what it's about. Because never again would be what I would categorize as too broad. And in the moment when I'm getting into it, I'm going to hear never again and go, that could be anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then this is not a negotiation. I like that.
Okay.
I would like to have that to + for when I am hoping to be intimidating.
And again,
Obviously.
The really cool thing about this is not a negotiation. I can think of a lot of different ways that can be used. If that phrase itself applies in the situation, we're doing it.
Okay.
I'm assuming that kind of came from a background in having
Bodyguard.
Bodyguard. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm a bodyguard. I failed one guy. I will not fail again. Never again.
Yep.
Sitting in on a lot of negotiations, I've seen the tactics used to basically instill fear. This is not a negotiation.
I dig it.
Or whatever.
It's basically an add to any intimidation situation.
Yeah,
It's
that's
fucking
what I'm
dope.
hoping for.
All right, Brad, what you got, sir?
So, I'm thinking for experiences, one of the important ones would be the background of my order, which would be the Death Shepherd, where it's not necessarily just about death, it's about life, it's about rebirth. It's the cycle of nature.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that if there's a way to phrase that as an experience, has a lot of utilitarian play into what my character is.
So are you looking to have it be an experience that's sort of playing to the cycle of life and death, or are you looking to have it be a cultivation thing?
A bit of both. I mean, the cycle of life and death, the way that Nero has been generated, the concept of his order, the concept of their people is that just as all things live, all things must die, and things that die feed those that live, and those that live feed those also that live until the cycle continues. Really just this whole kind of natural evolutionary cycle where, yeah, I'm a fungus, but it's not just about death. It's about the whole spectrum of nature's run.
I think your experience can just be, I am a shepherd of death. I think that's fine.
Love that. Okay.
We know what the context is. Like, we can decide in the moment if it makes sense to apply.
Okay, I'm a shepherd of death for the +2. And then for the for a +1, I think accompanying that on the flip side is also that, even though I'm a shepherd of death, we're also a shepherd of life. So we are healers. We are meant to help heal and rejuvenate nature and things around us. So I think that those two kind of play and interplay together.
I would argue that I am a shepherd of death could theoretically apply to both already.
All right. Well, then in that case,
it would just be kind of a niche of what specifically is happening that you're thinking that being a shepherd of death would play in.
Okay. Well, then in that case, if those tie together into one experience, perhaps the second experience would be that as part of our order and the fact that fungrals can communicate across any distance, we tend to be a little bit of lone wolves. So we tend to kind of move off in ones and twos rather than large groups, heading out from the main home to return after we've done our duty.
Okay. How would you phrase that?
I stole it straight from the experience guide, which says lone wolf.
Okay. Yeah. Lone wolf is fine.
So I wouldn't say isolationist, but maybe just comfortable in... Yeah,
we're all set.
We'll just do lone wolf. Make it
Yeah,
easy.
just call it lone wolf. It's easy. It's something that's... It gets what you're aiming for.
Yeah.
So
That's us. That's
point to change it.
That's Nero.
Cool. Carl?
All right, yeah, I'm thinking for my +2, I'll do something like acrobat, just given that I have the surfing skills, I guess, or just the balance skills, and then getting myself into spots where larger creatures wouldn't be able to, that kind of thing.
Yeah. So like anytime you're trying to do a flip or climb something or that kind of thing.
I add a little like, I'll do a backflip instead of a regular jump.
And a little flair.
Yeah, a little pizzazz.
Okay. So anytime you run into a check where acrobat would be involved.
Acrobatics would apply.
Or you could argue acrobatics are involved. You could burn a hope and say, I'm an acrobat.
Right.
Cool. What's your
and then
+1?
The +1 would probably be like a poisoner.
Ooh. Okay.
So like it comes naturally with my subspecies of ribbit.
Yeah, makes sense.
So I would be pretty good at identifying like poisonous things or someone who has been poisoned, or I can like poison a weapon.
Yeah. Makes sense to me.
I like that.
For my +2, I'm gonna go with bounty hunter.
Okay.
In my background of searching out animals to fight, and as well as people to hunt down and stuff. And then my +1, I'm gonna go with a duelist.
Cool.
As with my fighting style, I like to challenge myself and duel people when I can to improve my skills.
Sick. Which would come in really handy if you're trying to challenge someone to a duel or fight them in said duel.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Mike?
So for my +2, I'd like to go with pick on someone your own size.
I love that.
I need no other context. It's fine.
I love that.
And for my +1, I kind of like I've got your back, but I'd like to change it to oh no you don't.
Okay. 2 very confrontational experiences. I like it.
I love it.
And this is from my character. He as a janitor, I mean, in addition to a janitor, he also moonlights as an assistant to the grappling instructors of the order, and he's always been a helpful friend to the new aspirants that come trying to train. He's kind of like the one voice of encouragement while they're getting completely shit on by all the knights. As he's usually mopping up their sweat and blood after bouts.
Just leans in. Don't worry about it. That guy poops himself.
That's right.
All right.
You better not be pooping in there.
Boom, boom, boom. No shitting.
Oh, no, you don't. Hilarious.
No poop today.
So anytime for those experiences that you're making an action roll and you feel like those experiences could help you succeed, you can make the argument for it and then just say you're going to spend a hope to add that modifier. And unless we all go, it doesn't apply, chances are it's going to be fine. So,
Justin?
Yeah.
I've switched my +2 to I shall protect,
Oh, perfect.
if that makes sense.
It does.
I'm going to call my +2, the acrobat one, I'm going to call it, do a kickflip.
Do a kick.
I like it. There will be chances during level up over the course of the game to change experiences or gain new ones. So we'll talk about that when the time comes. Choose your domain cards. So every class is basically the connection point between 2 domains. You can choose to go into either one for these. They're the core building blocks of your character. These are going to give you your special abilities and things like that. So
You don't have to choose which one you go to. You can pick either or. You can change it at every level.
You could pick
if you want
either
to.
or each time.
So there's always
Yes.
2 choices. You can choose this one or this one, but the next one doesn't lock. So if you're blade and bone and you choose bone, your next one you choose doesn't have to be bone. It can be bone and then blade.
The way
Or
that
It
I
also
read
doesn't
it,
have to
also,
be from this level. You could always potentially go back a
True.
level.
Right. So if I want 2 from level 1, I can use my step to level 2 to get another one from level 1.
Correct.
Yeah.
Which you're the only one that's going to have to worry about this today.
Yeah.
By the way, guys, Alex is going to start at level 2. Fuck you guys. He helped me move stuff, and I'm happy that he did that so that my back is not broken.
weren't lazy assholes, you could also be a level 2.
There's
Hey,
the voice.
I have a kid.
There's the voice.
No, this is the
I would've
voice. I've
helped.
decided, Brian.
I live 600 miles away, or I'd have been there.
Not an
Yeah,
just
excuse.
lazy and I don't want to.
excuses from all you maggots. Make it happen.
Yeah, Alex,
I'm just lazy and I don't want to.
He brought his child to help me.
That's right.
My child would not be a help.
All right. So this one's kind of one. I'm not sure how we want to do this.
We should definitely probably go through and kind of talk about what we want to pick.
Yeah.
Because I know in the player manual it talks about maybe not always selecting the same one as someone else might want to pick. So that you each bring something different to the party.
Mhm.
And
You're talking
Yeah.
domains.
Yeah, I'm going to
Yep.
minimize that because I don't have
yes,
that
because
PDF.
classes share domains. They might not share the exact same one, but they usually might share one of them. So it's like if you're going to pick a card, someone else might also potentially pick that card.
Right.
Right. All right, so let's figure out. I'm probably going to need to.
Then again,
open
it's
up-
like it's okay to do that. It's just talk about it and make sure it's a choice and not just like, hey, we're both picking the same thing.
Do
For
they have these listed out in your character packets, or are these?
Yeah, they
something-
list
Go to
out-
character factors with your
They list them out there.
selections right there.
Okay.
So I think the biggest thing might be to say, like, do you have that wheel of domains image?
Well, I mean, there you can see a breakdown of the domains on page 31.
No, there's an image that shows all the domains and how they come together to make the classes, which is that intersect he was talking about. And so that way we could easily show like what we're picking. Because like, for instance, I, as a druid, run between nature and arcana.
It's Sage.
Sage and arcana.
I know that because I also have Sage in my
Right, you're Sage and
options.
Bone.
Yep.
So mine defaults to Midnight and Grace, but I'm not really using Charisma all that much, I guess.
So you don't have to take anything from one of whichever, like.
I can choose pretty much whatever I want.
From the 2 domains that your class is associated to. Hang on, I'm trying to find
level 1 we get to pick 2.
So I have domains, looks like it's on 31.
So I have to either pick Midnight or Grace?
Correct.
No. You can pick one from one and one from another.
Right.
Okay, so
I'm confused.
So of the 6 cards...
Oh, you're talking about the abilities. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
I got you.
You pick 2 of those cards, basically.
I understand. Okay, I was lost. I thought we were just like picking domains that we want to be.
No, the domains are signed to you based on your class.
Okay.
One question here. On the domain cards, some of them have they all have a little circle in the top right, and some of them have like a 1 or a 0 next to a lightning bolt.
That is the cost of stress, I believe. It is to pull it from, because you can only have 5 in your inventory at a time.
Yep.
Yeah.
But you can have a number that are not in your inventory actively.
Exactly.
The cost of stress, you have to pull it out of your not in active inventory to put your active inventory is the number of stress in the top right corner.
Yep.
Okay. Cool.
Eric, where in this manuscript did you find that at level 1 we take 2 spells or 2 domain choices? I'm looking at the domains page
It's
right
in
now.
character. It's choose your domain cards.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's in the long.
I'm in the long form right now looking for it. Character creation. Aha. Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Look at
To create your new character, look at all 1 level cards from your class.
And choose
Choose
2.
domain cards, choose 2 to begin the game.
Okay, perfect. I was reading the domain section of the manuscript, not that particular step. So
continues to say you might take 1 from each domain or choose
Right.
2 from a single domain, whatever you prefer. These cards grant you special skills and abilities. You'll be able to choose another each time you gain a level. So, yep, plenty to choose from, I think.
I'm going to say this right now, Brad. I'm not planning on taking any from Sage at level 1.
I think I'm going to take 1. I know I'm taking 1 from Arcana, but I think I'm going to take 1 from Sage as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was really tempted to get 1 from Sage, but I
Which one?
kinda
Gifted
want the
Tracker?
bone ones. Yeah.
Why do some of these have like a 1 next to that lightning bolt and others have a 0?
That
next
was
to
the
it?
stress I was talking about earlier, that if it's not in your active inventory, you can pull it in your active inventory by paying that
Right.
much stress.
Okay.
The top right of the card lists a number next to a lightning bolt symbol. This is the card's recall cost.
Mm-hmm.
This won't affect you at character creation, but once you reach level 5, you'll have more cards than you do space in your loadout. So I wouldn't worry about it too much right now.
Yep.
But you will have to worry
Well,
about
the
it.
nice
And
thing
where
is, if
can we
you
put
have
do we put this in the class features area on our character sheet?
You would normally have the printed. I think when Daggerheart actually sells, you'll buy the printed cards and you'll keep them with your character sheet.
Yeah, in theory, what it should be is you print it out,
Draw 2 of
card,
them.
you put it on your, you put it next to your.
I would just
I
snag a
understand.
sheet of
Okay.
paper and write down the ones that you're picking. And
Yep.
then
Yeah.
when we
I'll
get
do
this
that.
stuff finalized before session 1, we'll get it put into Foundry in some shape or form, or you can just have it on a printed character sheet area.
Mhm.
Does anyone have the bone?
I
domain?
I do.
All,
Oh, no.
all of you melee folk have bone. All 3 of you.
I was gonna say I thought that
No,
I don't know
don't.
which ones.
I have Blade and Valor. I do not have Bone.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
Blade and
I-
Valor. Nice.
I'm peeping deft maneuvers is what I'm looking at.
Okay, you're doing deft maneuvers. I was thinking about taking deft maneuvers, but if you want it, I might maybe I'll
So-
swap that out.
I could
I
do.
definitely want nimble.
Okay, I think I'm gonna stick with deft maneuvers then. And my thought is because I'm looking at whirlwind for my blade ability, and I think that's gonna position me It'll help position me to get in melee or very close range with the most amount of people before I crack that off, and then jolly wallop everybody.
Don't giants have extra reach or something like that?
We
They do.
does.
Yeah.
Melee range becomes very close, right?
It
Mhm.
does.
Does anybody else have Valor in Blade?
Nope,
I am the only one.
you are.
I am going to take I Am Your Shield because it's very on flavor for everything I've already said.
I think Mike has Blade.
I do.
Oh,
Oh, I thought you
yeah, you
meant
just-
specifically Valor and Blade.
Oh, yeah,
I
my
have
bad.
Blade, yeah.
That's
Are you Blade
hilarious.
and
You
Bone,
just
Mike?
said it too.
Blade and Bone.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
So from Valor, I'm going to take I Am Your Shield because it's on flavor with my character, and then
And what does that do?
so going to call out that I can't read right here in the live feed.
I can read it if you want.
I'm just playing it. When an ally very close to you is going to take damage, you may mark a stress to stand in its way and take the damage instead. Reduce the damage by a value equal to your strength trait. You may also reduce the damage by spending armor slots. Now, question with this.
Oh, damn.
Since that is almost identical to I Shall Protect, it's basically the same thing. So if I shout I Shall Protect and then use I Am Your Shield, do I have to mark 2 stresses, or do they?
No. So if you use your experience and you want to add it to the roll, the way I'm reading this, it's not going to be an action roll to do. Anything that would be an action roll related to protecting somebody was when you would use your experience. So like if you need to sprint across a battlefield to try and do this, you would make an agility roll or something like that to be able to do it. You would then add your experience. I shall protect, and you would get a +2 to run across the battlefield.
Okay,
That
but
kind
when
of
I
thing.
but when I do that, now I Shall Protect, and I do a test to get to the place. Now
Mhm.
I Am Your Shield. Do I have to burn 2 stresses then, 1 for each?
The experience, you burn hope.
Oh, hope. Gotcha. Yeah.
This
yeah.
is stress.
1 hope, 1 stress. So it better work.
So if you burn both those resources to be able to basically go from close to very close in order to impose this,
Mhm.
even though you're out of range or something like that, I would say that would be when you would want to do it.
Okay.
Or something where you're in a situation where you wouldn't be able to use this, or maybe your stress is used up and you want to like just take the damage instead or something weird like that. You can do all kinds of stuff in this game. You just have to kind of state what you're trying to do, and we'll try and figure it out.
How many abilities can we use a turn?
There are no real turns. So
Okay.
as we play through, I'll kind of, the same way we play outside of combat kind of flows into the way we play combat. The only difference is when we start combat, every time you do an action roll, you give an action token to me.
Okay.
And
so
then
using
when-
an ability would be an action
Yeah.
roll?
If you have to roll, it's an action.
If Justin tells us to roll a die, we give him, and we're in combat, we are giving him pools of resources so that when he takes control, he's got more stuff to do back at us.
Yeah.
Okay,
And you
so
can do
let me
a lot
ask
of
you this
things.
then. With deft maneuvers, I can mark a stress to move anywhere within far range without making an agility roll to get there.
Wow.
Does that count as a roll then?
Nope. You don't roll a
No.
die. It's not an action.
So movement in this
Okay.
game, you can move within close range for free with any action you do. So if you say, I'm going to attack that guy, you can move a zone over for free and do it. If you wanted to move far normally, I would have you do a agility check to see if you can get there,
I see.
which is
Okay.
technically an action. You're basically taking 2 actions in a
Okay.
row to do
Gotcha.
that.
For my second domain, I'm going to use Blade Retaliation.
Hell
When
yeah.
you take damage from a creature in melee range, you may mark a stress to immediately deal weapon damage to the creature at half proficiency rounded up. I figure I'm going to be getting hit a lot. I should return the favor.
That is wise.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you've got your 2. You are I Am Your Shield and Retaliation.
Well, I will get 3, right? Because when I go to level 2, I should
You
get.
can start looking at your
I'm
your
gonna
next
look
one
at
if you want.
next one.
Brad,
Yes, sir.
what do you think you're choosing?
So The druid embodies the intersect between Sage and Arcana, Sage being spells of the nature style, and Arcana being, exactly what it sounds like, arcane spells. I am going to 100% take the Arcana spell called Rune Ward. It's a level 1 spell, 0 stress to swap. What it says is that I have a deeply personal token or trinket that can be infused with protective magic and held as a ward by you or your ally. Describe what it is and why it's important to you, and when the holder of the ward takes damage, they can spend a hope to reduce that damage by 1d8. If the ward die rolls an 8 on the money, the power is temporarily lost after it reduces the damage and can be recharged for free on your next rest. That ward is a talisman made of the teeth and a scrap of fur from Rip.
Oh, shit. Look at you tying your backgrounds and shit into your domain abilities.
Kind of weird, right? The second I have elected to take is from the Sage domain. And I thought about taking Gifted Tracker. Thought about taking that to kind of be able to ask you a question to be able to be learned about a specific creature or group of creatures based on signs of passage. But I think instead, I'm going to, again, fitting with my backstory, it makes sense to take the ability Nature's Tongue, which allows me to speak the languages of the hidden natural world. When I want to speak with plants and animals around me, I make an instinct roll of 12. On a success, they give me the information they know. With fear, their knowledge might be limited or come at a cost. In addition, whenever I make a spellcasting roll well within a natural environment, I can spend a hope to add +1 to the result.
I love that. I love the way that that's all worded too for Nature's Tongue.
It just fits with like my whole character concept of trying to find things that don't belong to return them to the earth or cleanse them. And then bonus, I've got the subclass foundation of the Warden of Renewal, which is spellcasting instinct, and it allows me to use Clarity of Nature, which once per long rest, I can create a space of natural serenity around me. And after spending a few minutes resting within the space, I clear stress equal to my instinct trait, distributed as I choose between myself and allies. And it also gives me the ability to use the spell or ability Regeneration, where I use an action and spend 3 hope to clear 1d4 hit points on a creature I am touching.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Which actually makes me want to go back and have Alex tell us what Vengeance does for Guardian.
What's up, Vengeance?
But I can do it if you want. But
Oh, yeah. I'll do it. When you take this foundation, gain an additional armor slot immediately. That was very enticing. When you are hit by an enemy in melee range and mark at least 1 armor slot to reduce the damage, immediately roll a number of d6 equal to the number of armor slots you mark and deal the enemy that much physical damage.
Hell yeah.
so you can do that and Retaliation. And
I can. So Retaliation and Vengeance really work hand in hand. I step in front of stuff and I smack them back. It's kind of...
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
You induce stress, I clear your stress. You get whacked, I fix your armor. You die, I tell you not today.
I am going to need a
Told you,
tailor
Justin.
and a therapist. So
This game is a death by 1,000 cuts.
It's going to happen. It's all right. All right, Carl. What do you think you're choosing?
All right, so I like I said earlier, I'm going with the Nightwalker Foundation.
Mm-hmm. What'd it do?
So, that is the spellcasting for that is finesse, and it has the ability Shadow Stepper. You can move from shadow to shadow. When you step into the shadow cast by another creature or object, or into an area of darkness, I can mark a stress to disappear from where I am and reappear in another shadow within far range.
Dude. Gangster.
It's pretty
It's
cool.
gangster.
Hell yeah.
So
is that Misty
with-
Step?
No, it's,
more like Shadow Step.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be taking the Midnight ability Pick and Pull, because every good adventuring party needs to have somebody who can pick locks, disarm traps, or steal items.
hell yeah.
I love that.
And then I'm also we get 2 of these, right?
Yep.
Yes.
And then so the second one, I'm going to go full on Hypnotoad and take in Rapture. So I make a spellcasting roll, which again would be finesse. And on a success, I can temporarily keep a target's attention on me, and narrowing their field of vision and drowning out any sound but my voice. And so like I'm picturing him just doing like a very high pitched frog croak.
Hell
So like
A fucking
So
dog
once per-
whistle.
yeah,
No
basically. So once per short rest, I can mark a stress on a success and deal stress to the target.
yeah. Okay,
That one.
cool. Eric?
All right, so
Funky
starting
man.
off, I'm going with the Wayfinder Foundation spellcasting agility. I got Apex Predator. I can mark a stress to increase your proficiency by 1 on a damage roll. Additionally, whenever you deal severe damage to an enemy, they also mark a stress. And that also comes with Path Forward. When you're headed for a place you previously visited or carry an object that with you that has been there before, you can identify the shortest, most direct path to your destination.
Oh, that'll be handy.
And then for my 2 domain cards, I'm going to select from the bone domaining Nimble. While this card is in your loadout, half of your agility score is added to your evasion, rounded up.
Holy shit. You're stacking evasion on me.
I love it.
And then my second one I'm selecting is from the Sage one. I'm going with Gifted Tracker. Making a spellcast roll to track or ask the GM one question you'd be able to learn about a specific creature or a group of creatures based on signs of their passage. If you spend hope before the roll, you can double your spellcast trait as the modifier. And when you encounter any creatures you've tracked, your evasion against them is +1.
Ooh.
And that is why I'm glad we talked about this, because knowing you had interest, I figured if you wanted to go that route, I'd leave it for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was going to take deft maneuvers, but with Mike taking it, I was like, that's fine. I'm okay going with Gifted Tracker.
I think there's also, it's kind of like something about the balance of you don't want all of your domain abilities, especially since there's no real spell book, to be pure combat, or you might not be useful outside of it.
If you get to level 7, there are cards that are specific that says if you majority of your cards are from one domain, you gain some benefits.
Ooh.
I didn't know that. But that's cool.
There are some powerful benefits from that. So
I didn't
it's
look that far
potentially
ahead.
worth
It's time
it
to look.
go.
Mm-hmm. All right, Mike, what do we got?
All right, so for my blade, I'm gonna go whirlwind. When you make a successful attack using a weapon with melee or very close range, you may spend a hope to use that roll against every other enemy in that weapon's range. Any additional enemies you succeed against take half damage, rounded up.
Sick.
Nice.
And then
Works really well, being a giant.
Yeah, I am a giant. Then for my bone, I am going to do deft maneuvers, mark a stress, and move anywhere within far range without making an agility roll to get there.
Yeah, it's going to be really handy too. And you said your Call of the Slayer?
Call of the Slayer, yeah. So on rolls with hope, I can place a d6 on this card instead of taking a hope. And then these are my Slayer dice, and I can store a number of Slayer dice equal to my proficiency. And when I make an attack roll or damage roll, I can spend any number of these Slayer dice, rolling them and adding their value to my total. And then at the end of the session, I clear the dice and gain that many hope.
Very cool. All right. I think that brings us to our connections. I think this is our last thing. We got about 15 minutes left in session here.
I just got that last. So for my second level domain, I'm going to take Bold Presence.
Okay.
Whenever you make a presence roll against a hostile target, you can also add your strength trait to the roll.
Very cool. So you have strength. Your strength is now your presence, basically, in certain situations. It's like more intimidation stuff.
Yep.
All right, so connections. On each one of your character packets, there are a list of questions that are designed to be asked to the other players at the table and have them answer for you. We're going to kind of keep this a little tight if we can. So we'll go round robin. Alex, you'll ask one of your questions to somebody else, and then we'll go to Brad. He'll ask one. We'll go to Carl. Carl will ask one. go to Eric, so on and so forth. So, Alex, choose one of your connection questions and target it at one of the other players, please.
Okay. Any, mini, miny, mo. Let's see, is it Carl or Brad? It's Carl. Carl, how did I save your life the first time we met?
How did you save my life the
I
first
remember
time?
you were
we
hopping
met?
across the trail like some kind of nitwit when I saw you.
It's time to get into voice.
Your dumbass long legs almost got you killed.
Well, you're pretty much filling in the answers for me, aren't you?
Don't listen to him. You choose. He
Your
doesn't get to
character
choose.
is what flavor of person is your guy again? Remind me.
I am basically like a tortoise, a turtle,
Right. Okay.
Galapa.
galapa.
You saw a fish try to eat me,
Okay.
And I shall protect.
and you managed to catch that fish and pull me out of its mouth. It's fishy maw.
Must have been a
was a
scary
big one.
fucking fish.
The big old fish. I mean, I'm only I'm only as tall as like a basketball.
Is your
so-
name really Drippy Ripley?
Yeah.
All right. So I saw a fish eat Dripply Ripley. I grabbed the fish and I pulled you out of its mouth.
I suppose it's
I
not
would say we have.
technically listed, but we could just say our names quick if you guys have them.
I would say that's the last thing, like the second to last thing in the create your thing before you create the corrections is record your name and pronouns and mark.
Oh, I see. Well, let's do that quick. Alex, what's your
Yeah.
character's name?
Gerard Graves. Pronouns are Lord King.
No, I'm just kidding. He, him will do. So
Cool. Brad?
My name is Kanaramyces Koldari. My pronouns are not Lord King. They are he, him.
And it's Nero for short, right?
If you must.
Oh, we must.
We must. Carl?
Name's Drippy. No, sorry. Name's Ripley, but I'm quite drippy. Pronouns are he and him.
Eric?
My character's name is Kai Azurepaw. He, him.
Mike?
My name is Oxley Spurbane, but everyone calls me Ox. And I am a he, him.
Okay.
Okay,
So,
fuck out of here.
Gerard
lack of
saved
diversity noted.
Gerard saved Ripley.
Cancelled instantly. Fucking done.
Gerard saved Ripley from a giant fish.
It was a normal sized fish. It was just a big old fish.
Just a big old bass came out.
It was
and
a
chopped
Fucking
him up.
large
it was
mouth.
Nero.
Fucking largemouth. Yeah.
Kanaramyces, ask a question.
I appreciate you using my full name. Gerard, given that I will be healing you, what did you confess to me that makes me leap out into danger for you every time?
He loves you.
Dude, I am so sorry. Please forgive me. My chair did a large squeak, and I totally missed
Your
that you were
chair.
talking to me. Say it again.
Sorry, Lord King Gerard. What
That's
did
better.
you
Now I
confess?
hear you.
What did you confess to me that makes me leap out into danger for you every time?
I don't think this question's for me.
Too late.
I confess to you that losing your life for another that you care about is more important than your life will ever be.
I think that question was for you.
It was perfectly for you.
All right.
Carl. I mean,
Yeah.
Ripley.
Yeah, what's up?
Ask a question of one of your
All right,
fellows.
Kai Azurepaw. What did I recently convince you to do that got us both in trouble?
Yes.
You got me to
Monkey
fight
business.
someone that I really shouldn't have.
That sounds about right.
Sometime at a tavern, got a little bit inebriated. You kind of prodded me along to fight someone that was a fool's errand to try to fight, and I took on the.
Oh yeah,
And
that's
suffer
right.
the
I remember.
consequences.
I remember. I specifically told that guy, "Why don't you pick on somebody your own size and then push you toward him?"
Sounds right.
Dragons.
Wrong character.
Bar
got him-
fights.
got his ass kicked.
Is
Right.
Kai a dwarf monkey?
He might be. Kai, ask away.
Ox, what friendly competition do we have?
Ooh. Grappling, 100%. Or fighting, whatever kind of fighting you want.
We'll go with fighting.
And we have Gimli and Legolas.
Sparring? Should we say sparring since we're not enemies?
Hey, we could be fighting enemies and just comparing, and contrasting.
Fighting
I
it
got
is?
33.
It still only counts as one.
Ox, ask your question.
All right, Mr. Lord Graves. How did we know each other before the party?
Well, there was a night at a tavern that I had a few too many and shit myself. You helped me get cleaned up and didn't tell a soul.
Glorious.
All right, respect.
Gerard Graves, ask you a second question.
Oh my god.
Ox.
What small gift did you give to me and notice that I always carry with me?
Don't you dare.
Small gift.
Are we going through all the questions or
I-
just doing like...
All right.
So, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're
No,
gonna
I
go
got
through.
one for you. My finest, most cherished nappy. After said incident that you just spoke of.
Okay. It's like a handkerchief?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's my finest rag.
Caneromyces, question 2.
Master Drippy.
Huh?
What?
It's just Ripley, dude.
Oh, what
It's
affectionate?
drippy for real.
What affectionate nickname have you given me?
Fantastic.
What nickname have I given you?
Affectionate nickname.
What
Affectionate
affectionate nickname have you given me?
You're a fun grill. There's a lot I can do with that.
I am. I've got a very big, droopy head.
I'm gonna call you Fun Guy.
Yeah.
So bad, but it's so good.
That's a little different than the nickname I gave you. It's still pretty good.
All right, Ripley.
All right. Let's see. Who hasn't been asked a second question yet?
I haven't.
But you already asked him a question.
I haven't either.
I said,
Right.
don't think it really matters. You can ask really anyone.
Yeah, you can ask whoever.
Pick whoever you want.
Just can't ask me.
Also,
All right, all right, Ox. What did I
Yeah.
discover about your past that I hold secret from the others?
Oh, that's a good one.
Ooh. Okay.
Rogue shit.
That I desperately wish to be a knight, knowing full well that it's, or everyone else knowing full well it's probably never going to happen.
Also, I'm intentionally not writing down any answers that I'm not a part of. I want to forget this and be reminded later.
Interesting. All right, Kai.
Okay. Fun guy, man.
Yes.
Why do you act differently when you're alone than when others are around?
Why do I act differently when I'm alone than when others are around?
Wait, isn't this about Kai, though?
Yeah.
No,
Okay,
you can
great.
ask. Some of the questions are staged at the person to learn about them and why we're connected.
I missed
Yeah,
that.
So why do I act differently when I'm alone than when others are around?
Yep.
Well, you see, us fungrils are very often misunderstood. And more often than not, the nature of how we serve the Earth Mother is frowned upon. So I never want folks to know exactly how we return bodies to the Earth or regenerate our population.
Yeah, we also don't necessarily have to do all the questions. You can do as many as you want.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm doing all of mine.
that's fine. If you don't want to ask one of them, it's up to you. Or if you want to make one up of your own, you
No,
can
that's
too.
fine. I was actually just curious as to what we're doing.
I was just
So it
planning to
wasn't
go through
clear.
all three, but
Okay.
it's up to you as a character. Like if one of them doesn't fit for what you want to do, don't do it. And if
Oh, I think they're fine.
and if you want one that's not on there, ask that too. It's fun.
I actually like all my questions, so I'm gonna just do them.
Okay. Ox.
All right, who do I want to ask this one? Master Kuni.
Konnichiwa.
Yes, Master
What
Ox.
what mundane thing off of the battlefield do you help me with?
Ooh. Well, considering you're often cleaning, I would help you with the cleaning and the general tidiness of our camp. I don't have the voice down
Alright.
enough to do that yet.
Surprised any of you have a voice at all.
So I would say cleaning and specifically sanitation.
Got it.
Fungal spores do wonders for fecal matter.
Are they like the scrubbing bubbles of this world?
You damn right.
All right, Gerard.
Kai, what lie have you told me about yourself that I absolutely believe?
The total pivot to Peter Griffin.
Oh, shit. Oh, crap. That sounds dumb.
That
No, it's not Peter Griffin. It's Ted.
That could also work.
The lie that I single-handedly fought and killed a drake.
Oh, that's a lie and a half.
Not a damn chance I believe that.
You definitely believe it. Gerard. You think Kai is a badass now. You hold him in such high regard. Nero.
Right. Master Ox. What animal do I tell you that you remind me of?
Ooh. Are dragons considered animals?
Yes.
Do you consider them an animal?
Well, I'm saying, like, in the world, are they more of a beast or are they more sentient, lordly dragons, like in
Depends on the culture you
systems
grew up
that
in.
shall not be named?
Do dragons file taxes? Is what he's asking.
Yeah, dude, I've got a hella.
Hi.
Yeah, I have a big time fascination with dragons. It's dragons, 100% dragons.
I'd love to see the tax collector come into the Dragon Lake.
You know, you owe some taxes this year, guy.
You know what, Master Ox? Some dragons just want to watch the world burn.
Yeah.
Drippy.
Of what? Who? Where? Why?
Your turn. Your third question.
After which, can we talk about the texture of your skin a bit? Is it loose and slippery? Or like,
That could be your third
are
question.
you continuously moist? I
Does
need
your
to know.
throat hang low? Does it rivet to the floor?
This is really important for tag team attacks. He needs to
It
know how he
is.
needs to throw
It
you.
is. You're gonna slip
I'm a
right
little
off my metal.
sticky. If I haven't jumped out of the pool recently, I'm a little sticky. I don't really care for the third question it has in the connections though. So
Did you have one? Did you want to try and make one up, or did you just want to leave it at 2?
I think I'm gonna leave it at 2 for now.
Kai, you're up.
Yes, how the hell
All right,
anybody else
Drippy.
can.
What have
Huh?
you asked me to keep an eye out for, and why are you worried about it?
Keep an eye out for a little fly who seems to react to when you say superfly.
Why are you worried about it?
Because I miss him.
It's one of the guys from your past, right?
Yeah.
You made friends with a fly
It's just-
that you're supposed to be eating.
It's a pet yeah, it's a pet fly, yeah. Superfly.
All right, Ox.
It's Baxter Stockman.
All right. Mr. Ripley, what fear
What?
am I helping you overcome?
What fear are you helping me overcome? My fear of fish.
Fish?
So you have one character that doesn't like water, and one that's afraid of fish, but is very adept at swimming. Okay.
I don't mind water. Rivers and streams, fine. It's the sea specifically. It's that vast water, body water.
Same.
Oh my gosh.
All right. That's really it for character creation.
Unless, doesn't the Ox have one more question?
I don't think
No,
so.
I asked
You
my
just asked
third.
it.
Oh, okay.
Just a couple of things to run through. I did put some table agreements kind of loosely in here. We've all played together before. I'm not going to get super in depth on it, but basically, have fun. Fun is first, obviously. Keep things going. We do have limited time as we're playing these ones. They're pretty short sessions, so just try and keep things clipping if you can. Obviously, it's not always going to be the case. If we get stuck on a rule, I'm going to try and make the best ruling I can. If you disagree with something I rule, just bring it up. I will be very open to changing the ruling, given a good reason. Advocate for your strengths. I'm never going to punish you for saying you want to play something a certain way or bringing up that you have the same ability I keep forgetting about over and over again. You should be reminding me of that if I'm forgetting. And then if you're doing back-to-back actions in this game, because they are possible, just make sure that you're checking in with your table. Make sure all the other players are cool with you just going back-to-back on actions. Don't just start steamrolling action after action after action. Yeah. We're doing heroic adventure, so everything's wild and crazy and stuff gets weird. Just make sure that when you act, you accept the consequences, because there will be consequences. I'm going to make it challenging when it's possible to do so, and I'm going to allow your heroic shenanigans to succeed when I can, when it makes sense. But it's not always going to come for free, and it's not a guarantee. So, yeah. Anything you guys want to add?
Cool.
Or
I'm
you
excited.
hate any of that shit?
Keep it soupy.
Keep it soupy. Give it some drip.
Dude,
Just
my
prepare
guy's
for me to tell you that
basically-
the Earth Mother's not ready for you.
You can make up gods and stuff if you want to. We'll get more in depth on that pre-session 1. If we want to change anything before then, that's fine too. We'll just give a quick update at the beginning of session 1 if we do that. So thanks for tuning in. We are Dead Sons Company. We're looking forward to trying out Daggerheart in 1.4.1. Tune in next time for session 1. Check us out at deadsonsco.com for more information. And if you are liking our content, consider reaching out to us on Patreon and supporting us there. Until next time, see you in session 1.
Loud for unicorns.
Go loud
Go
for
loud
unicorns.
for motherfucking unicorns. Thank you so much for listening. Please make sure to check out our website at deadsonsco.com for the latest news and social links. If you like our content, please consider supporting us at patreon.com/deadsonscompany.